what the did I just watch? I started this movie being like, all right, it's about like bikers and it's probably like a little coming of age with a little bit of like a tough outsiders kind of story. And
in this cool cyberpunk universe.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, we're talking about like God and like humanity and like, you know, psychic limitations.
That is honestly my one gripe with the film. I feel like there are a lot of ideas that are introduced and not really explored. That is probably a symptom of the fact that this is an adaptation of a much more detailed version of this story in the manga.
That is one thing that, as a fan of anime and a fan of manga, I do read manga like here and there, but I prefer to watch anime. That is something that like always kind of, and I know that this is the culture, but it always does bother me a little bit because sometimes I'll watch a show and I'll be like, that wasn't really clear. And then I'll talk to like my friend. They're like, oh, well, it's really clear in the manga. And I'm like, okay, well,
but
I'm not reading the manga.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching the show and I'm watching the movie. So like, why can't they make it clear here? But also I understand that like you can't take 6 volumes, very thick volumes of manga and put it into one movie.
I mean, really, even any sort of book to film adaptation, it's always like, no, but what the character was really thinking in that moment was. And it's like, well, there's really no way that they could have included that.
Right. There'll never be like a perfect adaptation.